back to Gay by Gay.
Wow, Charlie, you actually did the intro. I'm so proud of you.
Yes, guys, I am a lot more confident. Yay, and I will talk more.
So, beginning, just to give a little context, because it's like, I don't think I was recording at the time, we were laughing because Charlie was trying to become Celine Dion.
I can be Celine Dion, if you're listening.
And Aliyah all of a sudden started singing Bible songs.
Hey, Bible songs good sometimes, just for screaming.
Bible songs good sometimes.
Just for screaming.
Okay, so speaking of the Bible, we're talking about men.
What?
I don't know what one has
The Bible, like, praises men. It's like,
well, I mean, that's not wrong.
Yeah.
So, not only are we talking about men, we're talking about horrible men.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess this is kind of like the Bible.
Disclaimer, not all men are poopy.
No, not at all. I think it's a bit of a misconception where a lot of
poop
times...
with, like, corn in it. Yeah.
What is wrong with you today?
And onions, because onions are nasty.
Hi.
And whatever you guys don't like.
Why
that's
are there onions in your... Alright.
I don't eat onions, so they're not in there. They're in yours.
They're not in mine.
But no, I feel like men often get a bit of a bad rap, especially by... Like, if I said the lesbian
Yeah, I was gonna
community,
say.
do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's like, oh, kill all men and men's tears. That's not what we're here after. We're talking about some of our experiences and why, to some extent, we have not had good experiences with the opposite gender.
Yeah.
And I say this as someone who's bi, not necessarily strictly gay. Aliyah, are you good?
I popped a pimple in my ear. It, like, cracked. Look at it. It's...
I wish you guys could see it. It's, like, bloody.
Oh, my God.
oh,
almost
my
touched
God.
it.
I heard it. Look.
I almost touched it.
Fabulous.
I gotta take a picture of this rocks.
Yeah, she sends
So
pimple pictures to her
Aliyah is
girlfriend.
taking a picture of her pimple juice and
Pimple
sending it to her
juice.
girlfriend.
Well, because I've been playing it for like weeks.
Ooh, I love
Weeks.
that.
And I like went with my nail and I like pushed it and I heard it crack.
One time I did that in class, and my classmate my classmate was sitting right next to me, and I'm pretty sure some of the goo juice got on her. I'm sorry, Danica, if you're out there.
I'm pretty sure that's what happens whenever Aliyah, like, her brain starts
my
to
God.
lag and her, like, brain juice comes out, like, her goo.
like
I'm pretty sure that's what it's like.
Yeah, it's like
It
electrical
just, like,
wires.
and,
like,
shoots
water.
at it. People,
Yeah.
like, get stuck on them.
Her little squirt guns.
Wow.
Okay. So, disclaimer, as I said, we do not hate men. We are simply going to be talking about our experiences.
The men that we hate.
And maybe why, to some extent, it's made things hard for us. So I guess my first question for me, my being bi... Oh, hold on. Okay, we are back from intermission. That darn doorbell. Every time we sit down to record, someone's ringing the doorbell because in the place where we're working, the thermostat has been horribly, horribly broken,
Yeah.
and we are trying to get the heat working again. So,
Excuse me.
you know, it was for a good cause. But
good cause.
anyway, yeah, just general disclaimer, don't hate men. For me personally, being bi, my troubles with men, I don't think have led to me being bi. I think I've always just naturally been bi, and I've just had a lot of unfortunate experiences with men. You know, I'm not bi because, oh, well, men have always been terrible to me.
No.
I always was. And for you two, I think it's much the same where,
Yeah.
yes, you've had bad experiences with guys, but that's not why you're gay.
Yeah.
No.
I think it kind of, what's the word?
The wordy.
It's a
It's-
part of the reason I am,
It's
but
factored
it's not
in.
like the...
It's factored in,
you
but it's
know.
not the main
Yeah.
reason. Yeah. So who wants to start here, I guess?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, as they both look at me. Stare at me.
Was that sorry? Was that not subtle enough? As we both stared like directly at you. Who wants to start? Aliyah.
My experience with men. I've had a lot of men in my life.
A lot of them have not been very good.
No,
Disclaimer.
a lot of them have not been good. Hello.
Quiet talker.
Which men?
It's the only time she ever gets. I
Yeah,
feel
right.
like the only time you ever get quiet is when you're talking about your experiences with men because
It's
Yeah.
like,
it is something that
How
bothers
dare
you. It is something that bothers you quite a bit,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So without revealing anything, you have had a bad history with
Yeah.
men with not necessarily physically abusive, but very emotionally abusive men in
Yeah.
your life. I don't know which ones you want to bring up and which ones you don't want to bring up. So,
Well, we can talk about more details in a full episode. Because
There's trauma here.
well, of course, we're all gays. There's gonna be trauma.
There's gonna be trauma
everywhere.
everywhere.
Trauma here,
There's no
trauma
trauma
there.
where
I knew for MD, or moderate dick, as we call him here. Moderate dick. I remember you dated this guy for quite a few years.
Almost 4 years.
For almost 4
Jeez,
years,
yeah.
and I have hated him for about as long
Yes,
as that. I
yes.
hated him for about 4
You do
years.
not like him.
I
Imagine
cannot
how much
stand
women
him.
you could have dated in that
I know,
span of
you
time.
lost time, dude.
I know.
So the issue you ran into when talking about MD here, I didn't like him because as a person on the outside, I was very observant to your relationship with him. And I feel like it was absolutely, there were times that I felt like it was borderlining towards being more physically abusive.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, and I know that for you, you're kind of like, eh. The big thing for me was the mental and emotional abuse that he put you through. It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot to watch you
mean,
go through.
I felt like personally, one thing I did know, because it's still like kind of new. We only stopped dating like a couple months ago.
Which is weird.
Three,
You know,
four-ish.
I think just like what, Sunday, I looked at you
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, what is this? Your 6-month anniversary with your girlfriend? And you were like, Abby,
no.
we've only been dating for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you sure? And she was like, I didn't even
Yeah.
break up with MD 6 months ago. And I was
Yeah.
like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, it feels like it's been an absolute lifetime because you're just such a completely different
Yeah.
person now that,
I'm
you know,
happy.
now that you're
Yeah.
with your current girlfriend
Yeah.
and you've gotten rid of MD.
It
Like,
was like-
you're 100% different.
Yeah.
It was just something that had to be done, and it just
Yeah.
seems like it
The
was...
trash had to get taken
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
it.
even brief history. I feel like we've talked about MD a lot, but little brief history. If
He
you
has a very
haven't
dark
heard.
stain on your white linen, so
Get
Ooh, on
your
my
white panties.
bitch.
he is the
He's a skid mark.
skeet stain.
You shit
a
on your
skid
panties.
mark.
You shit on
I
your
mean, he
beautiful white
was
panties.
he was like, you know, that
Boxers.
that high school sweetheart that
Ugh.
didn't last, that everyone thought was gonna last, but didn't. We outlasted a lot of couples that we started dating with in our friend group.
I attribute a lot of that to you though, because through thick
I'm
and
a
thin,
loyal person.
you're an extremely loyal
Yeah.
person. Through thick and thin, you were willing to try and see him through
Yeah.
anything, and I think he took advantage of
Oh,
that,
I think
which
so,
I think is
yeah.
the major
Definitely.
difference here.
Well, I mean, advice to any little people out there. Little people.
Aliyah,
What?
That's racist.
What?
Little people? You're a little people.
I
You're
am
under
little
5
people.
feet tall. You're
not,
a little people.
Not little in height, but little in existence, like Charlie.
Yeah.
Little
You
in
mean young, dear. The
Yes,
word you're looking
little.
for is young.
Little in existence.
Little in
Taller than
existence.
If your significant other decides to cheat on you, don't get back together with them. Just don't do it.
Honestly,
Doesn't,
just
matter
don't-
how much they say they're gonna change. Just don't do it.
just
I've seen
don't.
it happen so many times.
Aliyah and I have only ever had 2 major
Yeah.
fights in our many, many years of friendship. Both of them were over MD.
Yeah.
And both of them were over his treatment of you.
Yeah.
And it led to I would approach you because I was very concerned about you, and I felt like I couldn't back down from the argument because I was worried that you wouldn't understand. Like, from my perspective, it was
Yeah.
clear to me that you were in a lot of trouble and kind of somewhat in danger to some
Yeah.
extent because I could see where this was going.
Yeah.
And I felt like if I backed down, then it would kind of undermine everything I was trying to tell you and you
Yeah.
wouldn't take my warning seriously. But I also feel like I had kind of backed you into a corner where you felt like you didn't have space to back down either.
Yeah.
Because that meant that you would have had to actually like reflect and review your
Yeah.
situation, and I think that was too scary to do
Well,
at the time.
Like,
even-
you're the type of person to see the best in everyone.
In everybody.
So it was really
it's
hard.
a kryptonite, but also defining feature.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say it's an amazing quality, but it's a dangerous quality
Yeah.
to you personally.
Yeah, I think that because I'm a loyal person and all of that, if this person I was saying who I loved so much, I had to fight for them too, even if it was against you. You guys kind of cancel each other out for me because you guys both did not like each other.
Well, the thing is that we never argued in person.
No. Thank God.
He was too much of a pussy.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
a less.
He would talk a big talk when I
Yeah.
wasn't there, but the second he came anywhere near me, he would clam up and he would go white as a ghost.
Yeah.
Like, quite honestly. And
Yeah.
I remember him telling you one time that he would run circles
Yeah.
around me and, like, torture me
Yeah.
mentally and everything
Yeah.
else. I would just like to point out that he never said any of this to my face because the second I looked over at him, he looked like he was going to shit his
Yeah.
pants.
Didn't he say that he would like make you cry once?
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like
he
that?
was like, oh,
Yeah.
I would break her down and make her
Yeah.
cry. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm pretty sure that with my just looking in his direction, he was ready for a breakdown. And I was just like, bitch, come at me.
Just like grab his washboard torso and just...
See, I am not a violent person, but he is one of the few people in this world where I would throw him to the crocodiles in the bayou, and I would not feel guilty about it.
But even then, this says much about me. I don't think he's the worst person alive.
I think there are many worse people, such as serial killers, but I think he ranks among the worst.
Maybe.
Worst relationshipist.
Worst relationshipist?
Is that a word? Relationshipper.
So yeah, he was bad at communicating.
I think this for you.
There's some people who just do not suit relationships, and that's him.
Was your breakup with MD kind of the reason that you really decided to come out? Was that the catalyst for you?
No, because you came out before
you realized before you broke up with him.
So what happened was after I got back together with him after he cheated on me, I
would like to mention the fact that he cheated not just once, he cheated twice.
Not twice.
It was twice.
It was 5 times within a month. But
he inserted in someone else.
Listen.
His penis found another pocket.
That's a different.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Listen, that's a different time. But no, when we got back together after he cheated on me, I was not happy, and he knew that.
He was on his best behavior, and I remember looking at you, warning you, Aliyah, he's on his best, and you were like, he's changed, and I was like, no, he's on his best behavior because he knows he's in deep shit with you.
Yeah, well, I know he didn't change.
I think when you guys got back together, it was not a healthy relationship on either side, was it?
Ooh, I was the worst I've ever been in my, in my lifetime.
You definitely changed a bit as a person because you were the same person that I had always knew. Yeah. But whenever you talked about him, you changed into someone that I didn't recognize. Yeah. You were dark.
Well, at that point, shortly thereafter, I was almost an alcoholic.
Yes.
I spiraled very hard. Had an accidental suicide attempt. Not because of men. That was
there was a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff.
As there always is, because I feel like suicide is never. You don't just break up with a boy and decide on suicide. Yeah. There has to be other factors.
Oh yeah.
Unless you're Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, but no, when we got back together after he cheated on me, I was not happy, and I knew I was not happy. I was trying to give him a chance and wait on him so that he would get better and all of that.
You kind of wanted to see if he was serious about, I'm going to change, I'm going to be better this time. You wanted to give him that opportunity, and you just, for the first time in your life, you did not do anything. You just observed, and you let him dig his own grave.
Yeah, and it was bad. I watched our relationship die. But no, time went on, and it came up to a year then we had where he had cheated on me. And on because
it was like June, right?
Yeah, it was like the end of June.
And I would also like to point out that I will never forgive him because all of this came to light the day before your grade 12 graduation, and everything was ruined for you. And I will never forgive him for taking that experience away from you.
I love your tidbits of anger.
Oh,
tidbits of anger.
There are very few people in this world that make me as angry as MD does. He makes me legitimately hot under the collar. Yeah. And I say this as a redhead who already has a fiery temper.
It makes me so mad because you
don't fetishize me.
You gave him what's the word? I can't talk today, guys.
It's because you're sitting next to Aliyah, and Aliyah's brain goo is just dripping off of you.
Goo.
You helped him graduate. You were the reason he graduated.
She wrote his papers for him.
Yeah, I did.
He would not have been successful
He
without
never would
you.
have graduated.
No, he shouldn't have graduated.
And he ruined it for you.
Yeah, he did.
You graduated for him, and then he had the guts to go and cheat on you.
And ruin your graduation.
Oh, it just
I know.
makes me so
You
angry.
worked for your graduation. He didn't even. Ugh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
But I think Charlie and I are far more bitter than you are at this point.
think so. Well,
relationship.
I can't be bitter. Why am I gonna hang on to it?
You have a girlfriend.
I mean, at least you got the righteousness of getting to break up with him and everything else. I never got to beat the shit out of him, so my anger is left unassuaged.
We should just go snap him and have it off.
I kept hoping that Aliyah. How many times did I ask you, Aliyah? Are you sure you don't need to pick up anything from his house?
Yeah, you wanted to come with me.
I just wanted to stand there and let him feel the anger radiating off of me, and I wanted him to feel threatened.
How many times?
I wouldn't do anything. I would never do anything, but I just wanted him to know that my anger has no boundaries.
You should take him to court for your bird.
I don't need to.
But
custody.
It's a bird.
Custody.
I don't need any more birds.
I know.
So I have a lot of animals.
She has so much animals.
Any hoozles.
Hoozles?
Yeah, I wasn't happy in our relationship after he cheated on me because there was no trust. I decided I wasn't going to put any effort in. I wanted him to fix things. And
he had fucked up.
Yeah.
So it was his turn fixing
And-
things. You should not have had to go crawling
Yeah.
back. And if you were fixing things again, then he wasn't serious.
Things had slowly gotten more and more unhealthy as time went on. And then it came up to a year after the year anniversary of when he cheated on me, or when I found out at least.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him, and I was like, you know what? I'm just really upset because this is like the year anniversary of when things are happening, and I'm thinking about this dark time in my life, and I would really like to talk about this.
Yeah.
And I feel like that not much has changed. And he was just completely unavailable. Now, that's the point where I started thinking,
Do you mean like emotionally he was unavailable, or did he just like literally just like look like he didn't care and he was checked out?
Do you think maybe he felt bad about it but didn't want to admit to it?
no.
He just didn't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like he didn't really
Sounds
care.
right.
He wasn't emotionally available. He also was basically not even physically available, as he decided to go out with his friends that day. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is great. And then I was thinking, and I was like, I'm really not happy. Every like 3 months or so, I would lay on his bed and sob and tell him about how I wasn't really happy. And you know what, guys, if you're not happy in a relationship, make sure you leave. Just leave.
I hate to say it, but it's kind of one of those things where I feel like you kept putting yourself through it because you were determined to make this love last. But I think it was so damaging to you. Every relationship will have troubles.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and say that it's all
Yeah.
going to be sunshine and roses and,
No,
you know,
God, no.
oh, if you're arguing with your partner, you don't belong together.
No.
No, you're going to
Yeah.
have issues. You're
Yeah.
going to have arguments. But I think the fact that you sat there, the number of nights you would cry alone in
Yeah.
your bed with him being completely emotionally unavailable was disturbing.
Yeah, he nah.
It was bad.
He was not the
I
one.
feel like
sis.
his thing was,
No.
oh, she does this all the time, whatever.
yeah.
Very much so. He became
Not I
almost
want to
like...
help her from
Yeah.
stopping to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't talk, but you know what I mean.
But luckily for you, things are much better now that you're together with your current girlfriend who actually appreciates you and cares about
she
you.
likes me.
She does. She likes you a lot.
Um,
You like her a lot.
No, actually, yeah. I started thinking about him before I even had the inclination that I was gay. I wanted
Yeah.
to break up with him.
So, you know, you didn't...
I was-
It wasn't that your bad relationship with him led you to going,
No.
oh, I'm gay. It's that it was always there and you were just kind of repressing it. And
Yeah.
eventually you were so upset in the relationship that you just kind of looked around and went, why the hell am I doing this to myself? You tossed him out. You looked at me, went, girls. And then now you're much happier than you were before.
What happened was I was going through my relationship, and I was like, I don't want to be with him anymore. And then I had started a new kind of job over the summer, because I have another job over the summer.
Yeah.
Started that. He had not talked to me for a whole week because I didn't initiate any talking to him. I didn't do it.
You just didn't have the energy?
No, and I wanted to see what he would
If
do.
he would reach out first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were dating.
Yeah.
We were dating.
So you would think that eventually at some point they would want to reach out and talk to you.
Yeah, and I would go to his house all the time. Like, it's not like a rare thing for me to talk to him. I was talking to him all the time.
Yeah.
But no, he didn't talk to me for a full week. And at that point, I was like, you know what, this is it. And then, like,
I remember that because he kind of assumed that you were just busy with
Yeah.
day camp and everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone should have been able to tell that something was
Yeah,
wrong.
even just
I
good
remember
morning and
looking.
good night,
I
you know what
remember
I mean?
walking in here, looking at you and being like, "What's wrong?" And you were
Yeah.
like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Aliyah, you're obviously upset. Like, what's
Yeah.
wrong?" And you were like, "He couldn't figure that out."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, it's obvious to me. What do you mean he doesn't
Yeah.
know that something's wrong?"
Yeah.
It's a douche.
But yeah.
I think he was just so self-absorbed that he could not see
Yeah.
that something else was going on.
I was kind of holding off on it, and then I listened to a singular lesbian song, cried in my bed.
She by Dodie.
She by Dodie.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
I had the realization of, wow, I'm gay.
Yep.
And then at that point I was like, why am I with this guy who I'm not happy with when I can there's a possibility of me having a better life with a girl.
Yeah, like honestly, I'm so happy that you did figure it out. Not just because this relationship was toxic, but also because I think you spent so long kind of denying yourself. It's almost like you felt like you didn't deserve
Yeah.
to be happy, and
Yeah.
so you
Gay.
you
Yeah.
purposely stayed away from things that would make you happy,
Yeah.
including, you know, staying away from relationships that would make you happy.
Yeah.
I think it's why you kept going back to men, because you
Yeah.
felt like you needed something from them, and yet turns out the whole time, no, you just wanted titties.
Yeah.
Well, I was also that one.
You're very an affectionate person. And,
yeah.
Girls are very shy, so it's hard to find.
Well,
stuff,
not
like-
only that, when I was your age and stuff, I always used to say, "Oh, yeah, I'm bi, but I would like date a girl, but I could never marry a girl." Like I couldn't
A
do
little bit of
that.
internalized homophobia,
Yeah,
maybe?
definitely. So I never saw it as a real option, probably because I was suppressing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, much happier now.
And now, the number of
just
times
women.
you will look at me in one day and say, Abby, I'm going to have a wife one day.
Yeah.
And you legitimately look so
She
happy.
start crying because she's so
Yeah,
happy.
you were just so happy.
Yeah, I was crying a lot.
I
when
remember
came
the day you came out to me.
Yeah.
And I remember coming in the car and I was like, oh my God, Aliyah looks like different. I'm like, you look like a little boy. You smiled so hard and you just look different. You
Yeah.
told me, I'm like, I know, but you
Yeah.
look so happy. And
Yeah.
you're like, "Ooh." I was like,
I was
yeah.
like glowing.
Yes,
when I
you
came
were.
out.
You were so happy. Well, you still are, but you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I'm very
Like, you were-
happy.
So you are absolutely gay, and
Absolutely gay.
Yeah.
men have given you trouble.
Yeah,
That is the summary
Yeah.
of this episode.
men gave me trouble.
Men gave you trouble, and that's just talking about one man. I'm
One
sure
man.
in the future we will get into some of the other ones,
Yeah.
but that's
Into
literally
more traumatic stories, but this is just the...
this is literally just the tip of the iceberg.
Like moderate dick.
Ugh.
The moderate trauma of
He is the moderate
Yeah.
trauma,
the
unfortunately.
moderate trauma.
He's just moderate.
There's different layers.
So, we would like to know, out there, if you have kind of been stuck in a relationship that you weren't happy with, when did you realize it? When did you realize it was time to get out? Did you get out? If you have a coming out story, when did you realize you were gay? Was it while you were doing the dirty with some guy and you went, nope, want tits? Like,
Titties.
I feel like that's your
Hashtag
story.
titties.
Just hashtag titties.
Hashtag titties.
Hashtag titties.
Insert titties and Celine Dion voice.
All right, we're going to end this episode there. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you in the next episode.
Take it gay by gay, guys.
Bye.